Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Vision Board Party. My name is Hannah Lecha. The internet has been misbehaving, so I've been having challenges getting online. So those are some of the, the downfall of technology. But for the entire week, we have had problems with internet in the country where I am in Botswana. So you can imagine how that looks like. So I was just praying that one of the networks, works so that we can continue with the call. So welcome to everyone who is in the call. Thank you very much for creating time to participate and watch this webinar. I know there are so many things that are there that want your attention, but we have created the time to really participate and come and watch the webinar. So welcome. And just a brief introduction about who I am. My name is Hannah Lecha. I am an executive health coach and a leadership coach. I'm also an entrepreneur. I hold an MSc in botany, a BSc in ecology, and certificate in real estate. And maybe you are wondering then, what am I doing with vision boards? What am I doing talking with dreams with a background in science? And this is where visioning and really working on your dreams, brings a lot of fun in your life. I am a biologist by profession and training, but some years back, about 16 years ago, I realized that this is not what I wanted to do. I did not choose to become a biologist, but back then, when you were excelling, at high school, our government was in a drive to put more people into sciences. So if you excelled at high school, the government channeled you into the science, discipline. And if you continue passing, you found yourself going high in it, either becoming a doctor, becoming an engineer, becoming a botanist like me. And whether you liked it or not, you found yourself there. And because we didn't have the guidance back then to really choose what we wanted, we ended up doing anything and everything that we wanted. But I had an epiphany very early in my career. I was just coming back from Canada where I was doing my MSc in 2000. And that's when I had an awareness that, no, I don't think I want to be an academic. And I turned down the offer 2 years later. I turned down the offer to go and do an MSc, a PhD, because I felt like I'm just climbing the wrong ladder. I need to get out of this ladder and start afresh to where I wanted to go. And this was my first experience with visioning and creating a vision board. So I had a vision, and my vision was to become an entrepreneur and be able to create a business that will run without me, that will generate passive income for me without having to wake up every day and go to work. And it wasn't an easy path, it was a journey, but I can say that I have achieved quite a lot of those things which were on that vision for me. I ended up deciding to become a coach. So in 2014, I certified with the John Maxwell team as a coach, a speaker, and a trainer. In 2017, I became an executive director in the John Maxwell team. And last year, I became a certified DISC consultant, which is a human behavior specialist. And those were part of the things that I did to position myself as a coach and be able to help people with their dreams. But on the business side, my husband and I started for a very long time after I quit my job and he quit his. We really focused our attention into real estate. So we developed property, both residential, multi-residential, commercial. And in 2016, we actually branched into the hospitality industry. So we opened a lodge, it's called Laha Hotel in Maun. And we are now in the process of expanding into another one. We bought another one, it's called Laha Resort and Spa. So that's what we are building right now. And those are things that are generating income with me, without me working there full time. I am only focusing on this coaching and training business. That is where I spend most of my time. And that is where I am a full-time employee. I am a coach, the lead coach, but I am also part of the team. I am involved in the day-to-day running of that. But otherwise, my whole vision was so that I have something that generates income for me without going to work every day. And that's what my husband and I have been building as a family business, really on the side. Some of what we are doing, for me, this is a passion. Coaching is a passion for me. I believe it's a calling. But so it involves a lot of my time and my energy, but I'm passionate about it and I love it. So really, that's what is going on. But I just wanted to show you how much visioning and creating vision boards can do in your life. You know, it can help you become very, very clear and decide what it is that you really want, so that you can take the necessary steps to turn it into reality. Because the whole aim of dreaming is so that you can take action and bring to reality whatever that you are dreaming. Otherwise, it remains a real dream if you just continue dreaming and dreaming, hoping and hoping, and not actually taking action at all. So I want to welcome those who are here and just ask your questions so that to know if you have worked on a vision board before, you can just type there on the chat box if you have done a vision board for yourself in the past. Type there on the chat box and share, and share with me how the vision board has worked out for you. Or if you haven't done it, also share that, type that in the chat box for me. On the dashboard, if you are not familiar with Zoom, at the bottom of your device, the window there on the dashboard, there are icons. So you will see one written chat. So that's your chat box. That is where you can actually type. That's where you can actually type. So Lebo, have you done a vision board before? I can see, let me just ask one person there. Lebo, there is Lebo Ashley there. I have unmuted you, Lebo. We can talk. Have you done a vision board before, Lebo?
Hi, Anna.
Hi, Lebo. I'm good. And you? Yeah.
I'm great, thank you. No, I have not done a vision board yet. I would love to. I just wasn't sure how it works. I've wanted to do one for years.
Okay, you have long wanted to do it, but you didn't know how it works. You didn't know how it works, or you wondered whether it works. Which was which?
I think it's both, but I believe in seeing things because I've seen the power of many of things that are meant of things that manifest before you've seen them, just envisioning them. So I wasn't really sure how a vision board how it works exactly, and if it really works. So
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, that for some people is two ways. It's either they doubt whether it works because they've never seen it working for anyone, or they believe it works, but they don't know where and how to start. So yeah, you are in the right place, Lebo, because I'm going to share really what a vision board is and how you can actually do it, and I'll also share the next steps if you really are serious into doing a vision board. So let's get to hear from another person. Wami, how are you? Let me unmute you. I can see Wami. I can unmute Wami as well there. Okay, I'm trying to unmute one. Wami, can you unmute yourself and share your experience with vision boards? Have you done a vision board before? What was your experience about it? Do you think it works? So just unmute yourself and share with us here briefly. Okay, I don't know what's happening with Wami's. So I don't know what's happening with Wami's internet. So I guess I'll just continue. I'll just continue with that. Okay. Okay, so I just wanted to share like I mentioned, my experience with vision boards. I have always been a visionary, a visionary and a dreamer. but it was only in 2014 that I really started, honing in the skill of visioning and of creating vision boards. And I joined the Jack Canfield group as a coach and a trainer. And one of the tools that we used there was actually a vision board, and that's when I did my first vision board. And I didn't only do a vision board for myself. That year I bought a vision board for my daughter. At that time, she was actually 12 years old. So I bought it in the US, the ones that are done by Jack Canfield. And when I arrived home, I told her, I've bought a vision board for you. I want you to do the vision board. I want to see what your vision is. And I gave her the vision board. And I was hoping that I'll come and explain to her what a vision board is and how it looks like. And one day when I came back from work, this is what I found. I found that Boipelo has done her vision board workshop. Mind you, she was 12 years old by then. So she read the instructions and then she went on to do a vision board. And what I can tell you right now is that Boipelo is living her vision board as we speak right now. She's 17 years old. She's doing year 12 in the US, and her major is she wants to become a fashion designer. So she went to a school that has an emphasis in fine art. So if you look at Boipelo's vision board, when she was 12, Boipelo put cakes there. There was a dress, and still one more cake, and that was like writing. This was someone writing and someone singing. And she put affirmations like, I'm perfect just I am, I love who I am, I'm unique, I'm a treasure. And the truth is that's what people ended up doing. She started cooking, and we took her to a cooking school at age 13. And she qualified to go and present in a TV show in our national television. It was a 52 series where they had offered that school where she was actually, training to go and do that, and people are nominated to do that. So she cooks, and she's a writer. She writes poems, she recites the poems, and she paints, she draws. And this year, that's when she's now moving into university to do fashion design. She bought her own sewing machine. She has never sewn before. She bought her own sewing machine and started sewing because the universities wanted her to provide portfolios, to provide the work that she has actually done. And because she hasn't done fashion design, she had to learn by herself and do it. So she is a living testimony that she's really living by the vision that she created through her vision board. So I want to show you that a vision board works if you work on it. If you do it and you abandon it and continue going astray, you are not going to get results from your vision board. You need to be doing something about it for it to really work for you. So that is what she is doing. So I did the same thing with my younger daughter in 2017. Right now, Hwana is 11 years old, and she's epileptic, so she has a disability. She had a meningitis attack at age 3, and that left her, with cognitive challenges. But I don't limit her thinking that no, she's sick, she has challenges. So I made her do her own vision board. And for her, what comes up was that she loves modeling. She put quite a lot of things, but she kept on saying, you know what, I want to do this. And I could start seeing the traits of modeling in her. So that is what we want to continue nurturing. And she put a swimming pool there. She loves swimming as well. So there is no limit, no age limit to how you can actually start supporting your child to start dreaming and to start imagining and using their imagination, because really dreams come from the power to visualize and to imagine what can be. And once we follow on that, we really get to see quite a lot of things happening there. And this is a collage of a vision board that some of my clients did, in one of the vision board workshops there. And I will talk about the one on the bottom here, this one for Janelle later on. This is what she used to quit her job. She's an attorney. She worked for a very big law firm, but it ate most of her time. She didn't have time for herself or her kids. and she created this. And one of the things was to really run her own business, which she eventually did very quickly. So today, really, for most of you who have never done a vision board workshop, I think now you have learned what it is. You learn what a vision board is. You learn 3 things to focus on for a vision board to work. And I'll give you the next steps if you want to create a vision board and start from there. Or just if you have your own vision board and now you want to manifest what's in the vision board, because the most important part is to bring that to life, really. You cannot just dream in vain without actually doing anything. So you need to continue and take action for the dream to become reality. So let's start looking at some of those, the elements of the vision board and how you come up with a vision board. One of the most important things that you utilize in a vision board is the power of visualization. I know when we were young, we dreamt, we visualized things, and sometimes our parents kept on saying, no, that you can't have that, you can't do that. And that stopped us from really imagining and visualizing. But visualization is one of the most powerful mind exercises you can do. In the popular book, The Secret, visualization is described as a powerful frequency that you emit into the universe, thus contributing to the law of attraction. So if you are not familiar with the law of attraction, this might sound a little odd, but just stay with me because I will explain what the law of attraction is. And yeah, simply put, the law of attraction is the ability to attract into our lives, whatever we are focusing on. In other words, all thoughts turn into things eventually, regardless of whether they are negative or positive thoughts. So if you focus on negative, doom and gloom, you will remain under that cloud of doom. But if you focus on positive thoughts, and have goals that you aim to achieve, you will find a way to achieve them. And I've just shared with you how I manifested mine and how my daughter Victoria is manifesting hers, and how Janelle, one of my clients, has actually manifested, her dreams. So really, that is one of those things that we want to start bringing in. If you have stopped imagining, you have stopped visualizing, or you're just visualizing the wrong things, negative, scary things, this is the time to start shifting, your awareness from negative things to positive things that you want, because that's the only way that you can get what you want in your life. And just to bring this home, I want to ask you, can you think of an instant when this statement ran true for you, that once you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen? So if you are having trouble, think about the last time you had a bad day, think about the last time you had a bad day, and all that you could think about was how crappy and horrible everything was. You did regular occurrence, did the regular occurrences seem even worse than usual? Did you see that you are just getting on one wrong thing and one wrong thing? Did issues that normally wouldn't affect your mood suddenly seemed overwhelming? Ralph would say that things seemed worse because we were making the decision to see those things as bad rather than as good or neutral, And once you can accept the idea that negative thoughts can cause negative energy, it's not a big leap to entertain the idea that positive thinking can create positive energy. Because like Oprah Winfrey said, you don't become what you want, you become what you believe. You become what you believe. So right now, I want you to think of one thing, if you could attract one thing, what would it be? If you could attract one thing, what would it be? So I want you to type that, on the chat box. You can type that on the chat box, or you can write that on a notebook, that if you could attract one thing, what would it be? That's one of those things that I want you to really start envisioning and visualizing, because our attitudes shape the life that we really want, the way that we actually want it. Okay, Lebo says success, and Lebo, I'm going to ask you to really be very specific. What is success? What does success look like for you? How would I know that Lebo is successful, when I see you? So I want you to break it down, into things, into specific things that you can actually tick and achieve, that I have done this. So success is very big. So what would success look like for you? What is one thing that would form part of that success if you have achieved it? Okay, to have my PhD before the age of 35, good, very good. So that is something that you can now start, you can put as a, as in your vision board, as one of your goals, to have your PhD before the age of 35. That is very specific to the point. And 35, when 35 is coming. And how old are you now, Lebo? Okay, now why are you laughing saying, haha, 25? Okay, thank you, Lebo. No, that is fine, because you want to set a vision that you can actually start working on, Like if you are 25 and you want your PhD by 35, then you eventually will have to set your timelines of when do you want to actually start applying and start doing the PhD. I love that. You are on the right track, so you can just, continue working on that to make it real. Okay, so let's move on. So like I mentioned, our attitudes are very important. So our attitudes and beliefs create a magnet to attract events, circumstances, and opportunities to live out those attitudes and beliefs. So what I can say is that our attitudes shape our lives the way we want them, really. And creating a vision board is a tool that helps you narrow down your greatest, wildest dreams and present them in a way that constantly reminds you of your life goals. So you put your life goals there at the tip of your at the top of your mind and at your fingertips. So you really want to become very, very clear there. And like I mentioned, there are elements that really help you govern, make your vision board actually work, and one of them is the power of choice. A vision board forces you to consider and examine your dreams, your goals and desires, and create a focus around the most important ones. There are so many things that we want. There are so many things that we aspire to have. But if we don't focus on them, well, okay, welcome, Amu. I can see your hand is up. I'm not sure whether it's by accident or what. So I'm just gonna unmute you there. Or you can unmute yourself. Okay, so Amu, if you wanted to say something, you can raise your hand, but welcome to the call. Okay, so let's continue. So what I was saying is that the vision board gives you the power of choice to really focus around your most important dreams, goals, and desires. And this process of choosing, really, this process of choosing what to put on your board is simple. It is extremely meaningful. Once you have identified your desire, you've got to find images that represent them, because that's how our brain works. Our brain works in images. It doesn't work in words. That is why when you visualize bad things, they actually look like they are real, because the brain can really connect with that. So I'm just going to ask you to take a moment right now and really discern your intentions and ask yourself, what do you want? What do you need? What do you value? Who do you need to become? So how do you want to feel when those things are your reality, the things that you want? Because we want you to bring all your thoughts, bring your feelings in it, as well. So just think about the things that you want, the things that you need, your values, and how you feel when all of those things have actually become reality. Because that is the starting point of actually creating a vision board. And I'm asking you that because now we want to tap into the brain, because our brain is an amazing and incredible complex machine that is geared towards making us successful with every action that we take, In fact, when we imagine ourselves preparing for an activity, our brain actually runs through the process and sends signals to the rest of the body to complete the action. But here the challenge is that we are doing it on autopilot. It's just by default. So we are not putting energy into doing it because we have learned it. It's now a habit. So we have delegated that action to habit. So it kind of comes automatically on autopilot, you know. And also consider what happens when you are anxious about something. You are visualizing the worst case scenario, and it makes your whole body feel awful because you start secreting those, you know, cortisol, those hormones that you secrete when you are. Do you have a job? The hormones that you release when you are scared or when you are afraid is because the body, you know, and the brain has actually picked on that. So that is why, because we want to utilize that brain part to help us actually manifest the things that we want. And then the other thing is that your vision board should focus on feelings, not just material things. I think that is one of the myths that people have about vision boards. They think it's just about buying houses and buying cars. And when it doesn't happen, they feel like they are useless. But that is just a myth. A vision board is not just about material things. I always tell my clients that a vision board is about 3 things. You know, it's like be, do, have. So it's, you need to become the person who can do the things that you want so that you can have them. So it's a be, do, have process. It's actually a 3-step process. And the having, the material, is actually the last part of the process. So while it's great to put up pictures of dream cities, dream homes, and other material possessions, it's equally as important to focus on your feelings. How would you feel like once you have achieved that dream? For example, if you love Disney, you know, land and all things Disney related, you know, they provide you a sense of joy and happiness. So putting a picture of Mickey on your board can remind you to keep looking for that same spark of joy in other areas of your life. So it doesn't mean that you are going to go to Disney, but because Disney is associated with joy and happiness, that will spark joy and happiness in your life, you know. Or for example, a photo from a family vacation can also trigger feelings of love when you start remembering the good times that you had on that vacation. So it can spark feelings of love, security, and positive energy, you know. So what's one person, place, or memory that brings you joy? Can you think of a place right now that brings you joy? You know, if it's a person, if it's a place, or if it's a memory that gives you joy. Because when you take a picture of that and put it on your vision board, it is going to evoke that feeling of joy, you know, in your life. And because like I mentioned, when I was marketing this, the goal of creating a vision board is to bring everything on it to life, really. Is to bring it to life. You are collecting all your thoughts, all your ideas, all your dreams, and putting them in one place, you know. And I know that's a tall order, but in order to help you start sorting your thoughts, you want to consider what your goals would fall, where your goals would fall in the different categories. You know, whether it's in relationships, career and finances, home, travel, health, you know, personal growth, which include education, learning a new language, learning a new instrument, getting your degree, your PhD. You know, this requires you to take a quick mental inventory of each category and write down anything that comes to mind. I want to give you a minute to do that. You know, take a quick mental inventory of each of those categories and write down anything that comes to mind, because that would really help you to really start putting that into action. So what thoughts come up when you think about your relationships, you know, your career and finances, your home, your travel, health, you know. I always add fun and recreation because when we finish at university, I think, I don't know where we get that. We kind of, we stop playing, you know, we stop having fun. We get too serious into paying mortgages and paying school fees and buying cars, and we stop playing. And that is where you know, the ability to dream actually stops. So we stop dreaming because we are just too focused into very hard things, and we are too serious. You know, my mentor John Maxwell likes to say that, loosen up, don't take yourself too seriously. I've realized that the moment that you step into that serious mood, your creativity and your level of imagination also goes down. So you really want to, you know, to loosen up. And then another important thing, again, I want to share with you is the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon. I'll explain that. Don't get worried when you see that big word. It's also known as the frequency illusion. You know, The Baader-Meinhof phenomenon is a type of cognitive bias your mind creates to confirm whatever information you believe is true. So once you create a space for what you want to believe, your brain will start looking for those things in the world around you, drawing it in toward you and making it reality. In other words, what you focus on and expand. In my programs, I like to say that the universe rewards clarity and the universe rewards action. The universe rewards commitment. So once you make a commitment and you become very, very clear, the universe will conspire with you, to provide all sorts of resources that you need for what you want. You will meet the right people who will help you. You will get the right resources. Everything will work out in a very mysterious way. But that is because of that, Baader-Meinhof phenomenon, which is the frequency of illusion. So your mind creates to confirm whatever information you believe is true. If you believe it's true, you can have it. Your mind, it's going to help you get it. The brain will really help you to bring it to life. So there are things that you need to start taking off before you bring your vision board to life, in order to bring it to life. So before you start constructing your board, you need to take some time to consider what general message you want your board to convey. For example, when you look at your board, would you like to feel calm, inspired, energized, or happy? Like here is a tip around to share. Taking a few moments to think about what emotions you want to convey can also help you discover what images, words, and general aesthetic you want your board to have. But also what I've learned from hosting so many vision board workshops is that once you become clear, the issue of what pictures am I bringing on becomes irrelevant. Once you are clear, you will see pictures that speak to exactly the clarity that you have reached. And you even see more pictures than you can put on that board. Normally, my clients would ask me if they can do another board. I said, no, just do only one board. Because I know that the moment they want two boards, it means now they are not clear. So there's going to be clutter. So I just said, no, just use one board. You can either have two different boards, targeting at two different areas of your life. And there are also different types of vision boards. So the question is, what would be your style? There are different types of vision boards. Some people don't mind a little clutter in this array on their boards. Others prefer everything to be in its place. I don't like many things on the vision board. I'm an example of the first one. But you need to decide what you want to go with and be sure that you have the right materials. So depending on whether you are doing a physical vision board or whether you are doing a digital vision board. I'll briefly talk about the digital vision boards later then. So you really want to decide what style you want, whether you want a real board, physical vision board, or you want a digital vision board. And then also whether you want to have one board or many boards. Most of my clients, they start with one board with everything, with all the different areas of their lives, their finances, their relationships, their personal growth, their fun, and their creativity. But once they gain more clarity, when they do it again, actually most of my clients who have achieved so much have done more than one vision board. They've done 2 or 3, because with every vision board they gain clarity and they refine what they want. And what I do with them is that I can say, okay, now maybe your vision board this time should focus on your business. So you can just do a business vision board that's focusing on how to grow your business and improve it. Or it can be on your relationships, or it can be just on your finances. So it's up to you to determine the size and scope of your board. You might prefer to have just one, or perhaps you want several, that you can keep one at the office, one in your bedroom, and one in the kitchen, so that you can see it frequently. Or perhaps you have an event coming up that you want to create a board for, like a wedding. You can actually create a board for your wedding. Or if you have a big event like it's a conference, you can do a board for a conference and putting everything that you want in the conference there. A big move, if you want to move or relocate, you can do a relocation vision board. Or a new job offer, if you are looking for a job, you can use a vision board to manifest that new job that you want. So you can create mini boards for this as well. Keep in mind factors like space and surrounding. If you are picky about design, you probably want your vision board to match or complement the other things that are in your life, and you want it to be very, very clear and not scattered. like you'd see in other people's vision boards. And I just want to quickly talk about what you need to create your vision board. Like if you are here and said, okay, Hannah, I want a vision board, but I want to do it for myself. Well and good. You can do it for yourself if you feel that you are ready for it. You just need to know what materials to put together. And because that's the fun part now of really choosing what you want. So you can have your images. You can use magazines. The simplest way is getting magazines, old magazines or magazines that you have to cut out the pictures from. And you also want some codes. If you have seen my daughter's vision board when I shared it, she had affirmations and codes there. So you can get codes or images printed from the internet. If you are on Pinterest, you can do that on your Pinterest. You can bring your own photographs. I normally advise my clients to bring one of their photographs and put it in the center of the vision board. In my vision board, the latest that I did, one that I did last year, I had a picture of my daughter Bipelo there because she was the reason why I had to really work and generate money. So that because her tuition is very, very high in the US. So that was the reminder that I gotta work and pay the tuition fees. So you can put your photo there, pages from a photograph. You can take images from brochure, from flyers and pamphlets, and other things that you are going to need is a board. It can be a foam board, a poster board. We normally use a white poster board that is like matte. It's very soft. It's hard, but it's not rough. You want to need an adhesive tape, either it's a boss stick or a glue stick. I normally prefer a boss stick because you can move the pictures around. So once you are sure that the pictures are where you want to be, you can either use a glue now to fix them there, permanently. But when you are still starting and you're not sure whether you have the right images, the boss stick or priest, what do they call it? Glue stick is the best option, And you can have a lot of things there. You can have some things to decorate the vision board if you are into the deco space there. So you really want to gather all of those things together before you can even start working on your vision board. And then the other thing that I also try and do in the vision board is to set up your space. Like when I'm doing my vision boards at home, I actually do a decluttering first. I declutter even my office, it becomes spotless. I declutter and have a very clear space. I like my candles. I love candles. I love aromatherapy. I love essential oils. So I'll light my candles. I'll put on the essential oils and create my own world where I can do that. Because really creating a vision board is like a ritual and should be treated as such. Which is why at my vision board, when people come with their handbags and lots of things and want to put them on the table, I ask them to remove them from the table and put them somewhere so that the table is very, very clear. I don't want that, but mostly it's because I know that there is clutter. Okay, there's a question there. Let me stop there. Just a question about the emotional aspect. So you find images that make you feel the way you want to feel about it, or just in general in future. Okay, I will answer this question at the end level. I have it there, so I'll answer it at the end so that I clarify that on it. So the reason why I'm saying that is because creating a vision board is like a ritual. You really tap into your soul, into your inner being. So you want to really respect that. And then you want to set a few hours and make this a special experience. I started doing my vision boards like it could take a day, but you can do it in half a day. I do that because there are other processes that go in setting up a vision board that I've incorporated over time. So you're gonna want to set up your space in a few hours, bring all your supplies, on a flat surface where you can do that. Like I mentioned, you can light candles, you can diffuse oil or burn incense, you can play some music and take a moment before you begin, you can meditate, you can pray, whatever, if you are a tea person, you can bring your tea along there. So you can really decide, set up the space the way that resonates with you and the way you actually think. But the most important thing is it should be clear. So remove any clutter, that you can get. And then you want to add affirmative words, or phrases. These are words that inspire you and describe how you want to feel on a daily basis. Consider words like joyful, powerful, fearless, loved, strong, and finally free. You see with Bello, she said, I love myself the way that I am. Yeah, okay. I'll come and answer. So let me just go through. I'll create time to answer the questions and ask you questions at the end. So for now, just keep it. If you've got questions, can you type them in the Q&A box? So there is a Q&A box there. You can type in your questions there, and I'll give you time to actually even talk when I do the Q&A. So yeah, you want to put those those words or phrases or affirmations, that will really help you to get that feeling. So the question would be, what are some of the words, phrases, or quotes that you might consider adding to your vision board? So you want to think about those words based on what you want to feel, and you have to make it real, and the way to make it real is to bring in those feelings, is to bring in how you actually feel. And don't just do it and stop there. Once you've created your board, then make a list of things that you can start doing right now to live in alignment with the intentions and the wishes that you have just outlined. And the great thing about living intentionally is that you don't have to wait for external things to change in order to create those things. You can choose to feel how you want to feel, right now. Like I mentioned, my daughter did her first vision board when she was 12, the older one. And the youngest one did it when she was 9. And we both started feeling like she's a writer, started writing. She felt like she was a chef, started cooking. She didn't wait to say, when I finish school, I'll be a chef. When I finish school, I will start writing. No, she started living it, such that that is how we moved her from the school that she was going to in Botswana here. She went to Westwood, but Westwood is more of an academic. And for her, she knew. And we saw the way she showed up that she is a creator and an artist at heart. So putting her in a school that actually focuses on academics only was really denying her the opportunity to explore, her creativity and her imagination. So that is why we invested in taking her to a high school that will really consider all her different aspects of the things that she wanted. She'll still do academics, but she will focus more on creativity and on the fine arts. So there is so power in living intentionally and starting it now, not waiting for when things get better, when I get salary increase, when I do that, And that being said, you cannot control anything outside of you, including other people. So come up with actions and intentions that can perform within your control and fall under the categories of your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your choices, and your personal actions. So you can't dream for someone to do something. No, you can't. You can only control your thoughts, your actions, and your behavior, but not those of other people. You can only inspire other people to think differently, but they still have to do the thinking for themselves and the dreaming for themselves. I know that we grew up aspiring so many things for our kids. We decided which schools we want to take them, and that wasn't about them, that was about us. But that is why for me, when I realized that my child wanted a school with fine art at high school, I didn't want to start saying, no, I want my daughter to go to Westwood, I want them to go to Maruapula because I liked the school. No, I looked at their interest, and even when she was applying for the schools, I gave her the permission to look for the schools. So I gave her time to do the research, to shortlist the schools until we landed on a school that she wanted, because I didn't want her to turn back one day and say, it's you, Mama, who took me to this school. So even when the going was going tougher where she was now, she couldn't blame me because that was her choice. She played a role in choosing that. So you can't really think about other people and put them on your vision boards because you want them to do certain things. No, you can only put them because maybe they inspire you to do something, but not that you have a dream for them. And the other thing is that your vision board is not fixed on a slate. You can update it, you know, because our life course changes. And so should our vision boards. Actually, your vision board will change in proportion to how much clarity and awareness you are getting in your life. So as you raise your level of awareness and you become more clearer, your vision board is going to change. It's going to shift. But I've never seen it shifting and deviating much. I only see you becoming very, very clear and knowing exactly what you want. Initially, when you do a first vision board, things are going to be very vague, you know, very fuzzy and vague. They won't be very crystal clear, but the more you gain awareness, the more you gain clarity, you will refine it and really see what you want like that. So revise or recreate your vision board whenever it feels right. That's why I mentioned that most of my clients who are doing very well in terms of designing their lives and creating a life they want have done more than one vision board. And they always come out different. It doesn't mean like if I've done it last year, it was going to be the same thing, you know. So that is what I want to really talk about that, because so that you can refine your vision board maybe every year, maybe before your birthday, or when you finish your high school, or right before New Year's Eve. Like normally I do like 3 vision boards in a year. I do one the beginning of the year, like the one coming up next week in February. I do one mid-year in June, and I do one in December. So I normally do December and January. If you want to start preparing for the year, you can do it in December, so that by the beginning of the year you are just flowing with the vision. And then you don't just do a vision board and forget all about it. No, it's not gonna work. This is not a miracle thing, you know. You gotta work. You gotta create a plan and work the plan. So you have to take time out of each day or week to connect with your vision board, you know, to look at it. So you need to place it in a place where you can see it every day. And also set aside time to visit the vision board and contemplate on whatever messages are looking back at you. So ask yourself whether you are living in step with the intention you set on the board, or you are moving astray. Reflect on why you chose those specific images, phrases, and mementos. Send gratitude to things that make you happy in your life, and ask yourself whether your actions, your thoughts, you know, or feelings could be altered in order to better align with the future, you know, you picture for yourself. So that's where alignment really comes in. You want to really see whether that is working for you or not. Like I mentioned, I have done so many vision boards. I started doing vision boards in 2014 with clients, 15, 16, 17. And I have quite a lot of testimonials from clients who have really worked their vision board. Earlier on, I shared about Janelle, who has done a vision board workshop in 2017. And from that class, she realized that her job gave her a lot of money, but she was not fulfilled and she didn't have enough time for her family and her kids and doing the things that she loved. So she decided that she was going to start her own law firm and take it from there. And that was it. By June 2017, she quit her job and she opened her law firm, Makati Law, you know, Makati Law Firm, and she never looked back. And she has actually done, I think she's registered for this vision board now. That would be her 4th vision board, and she has since been really up leveling. The previous vision board, she actually used it to build her relationships. So that was actually the focus. I think the previous one, and then the latest one, she used it to now structure her law firm. She realized that she had her own law firm, her own business, but she was still working in that law firm as if it was someone else, as if she was working for someone. She still found herself working long hours with no time, you know, for her kids. So she started now designing. So it was more of a business vision board now, where she designed how she wanted to work, what days she wanted to knock off early and spend time with her kids, and what activities she could do with her kids. Started putting on vacations, you know. As a high achieving lawyer, she rarely had time to even go for vacations, you know, and be there with her kids. So she put those things, and I've seen them happen. This year in December, she went to soccer tournament with her kids, and they really had fun because the kids was the first time the kids ever went out with them like that. And then I have Masero, another client who has actually used the vision board to change a lot of things in her life. One of the things is her, you know, her lifestyle. She started living a healthy lifestyle. She was never the person to eat healthy and to really exercise, but because she had put a, you know, a woman, you know, a young girl with very flat abs, you know, in her vision board. And last week she shared that it has really, she never really thought it was gonna happen. And I think, let me just read for you what she actually wrote, because I saw that and I took a snapshot of that, because most people, yeah, she was saying, my vision board, January 29 versus me, January 2020. I never thought, first of all, I will have the courage to wear a stomach out gym bra. And even when I bought it, it was not my intention to tip that lady on my vision board. Just recently, after I wore it a couple of times, I realized, wait, here we are. This is how vision board works. Honestly, you are putting it out there for God or the universe to align it for you. Trust me, try it, you will see. And she put that image on the vision board where she had put a lady, you know, with her gym bra and her stomach out, and she put her current photo with her stomach out. So that is what could really happen. And then we have Doreen. You know, in one of the first, Doreen did her vision board in 2017, I think, 2017. And all along, Doreen is a teacher. Is actually a school head in one of the junior schools in our country. And she said she has been postponing to retire, because by then she was 54. She has been postponing to retire because she didn't really know what she was going to do after she retired, because she has been a teacher for her whole life. And that gave her sleepless nights, really thinking, if I retire, what am I going to do? So she kept on pushing it until maybe when the government said, no, go home, you are now old. But when she went to the first vision board, she gained so much clarity. And she realized that her heart was in hospitality, really. Her heart was in hospitality, and in her vision board, she put a lodge. She put like a lodge or a hotel. And guess what? Within 3 months, Doreen had manifested a place, you know, for a hotel. And that was not even her. She shared that with the husband, and the husband, then she said she wanted to buy a place. It wasn't suitable. And one day the husband said, come here, I want to show you something. And the husband went to show her, you know, a place where people where someone was selling. It was a place that they wanted to do something with. It was along a river, you know, in Kopong, in their village. So she bought that, and right now she's working on developing that. She calls it Resort 29. And that was something that was birthed out of a vision board. And then lastly, we have Refilwe. Refilwe is one of my youngest clients, and she has been doing so many businesses. I think she did accounts, she did a lot of businesses, and all along she was trying that and that. But until she did her first vision board, then she realized that some of those things that she has been doing, that's not really who she was. What she loved was acting. She wanted to be on TV, and that's what she focused on. So she started getting acting gigs, and she said she wanted to now go to study acting, you know. And that was last year in February. And guess what? This is the message that I received from Refilwe on the 22nd of January. It said, good morning, coach. I hope you are well and that you have been well. I know I've been awfully quiet, but this absolutely nothing to be worried about. I'm well and kicking. Last year, I was mainly held up with 2 big projects, shooting left, right, and center. I wish to also inform you that I will be leaving next week for Eastern Cape, Grahamstown. I've been accepted to do honors in applied drama and theater, of which will be a year long, and I'm self-sponsored. My intention is to then continue with masters thereafter, of which it will be 2 years long. The vision board is working wonders. Thank you very much for all you do for us. And that is what that vision board did. I highly appreciate you. So that is what happened with Refilwe once she did her vision board last year, February. And within months, she was really doing the things that she said she wanted to do and putting them into life. And now she has gone to Eastern Cape to really focus on developing herself as an actor. And she has gone to, you know, to do an honors in applied drama and theater. So there is so much power. I'm giving you an example of these big things because to show you that vision boards are not just about buying a new car, buying a house. And most people who do vision boards, they dream beyond buying those new cars and houses. They dream into things that can change the trajectory of their lives, to bring them in alignment with who they are and what they really want at heart. And that is some of the things that really give me joy and make me continue doing these things, every day. Every year I keep on doing these vision board workshops, with different types. And last year I did one for kids between 8, for children and youth. It was between 6 and 18. It was just kids and there were no adults there. It was mind-blowing. Most parents were shocked at what their kids put on those boards. And they started respecting their thinking and their imagination. So yeah, you can do quite a lot out of that. So I think for now, let me pause here and take any questions that you have by answering the questions that are here. Then I'll open the lines for people to ask questions. So Lebu said, just a question about the emotions aspect. So you find images that make you feel the way you want to feel about a specific goal, or just in general in future? Okay, but for example, achieving my PhD would make me feel accomplished. So do I find images that show express accomplishment to place next to the PhD image? Thank you for that question, Lebo. You find images that make you feel the way you want to feel about a specific goal that you want. So that should be about a specific goal that you want, or it would lead to something that you want in the future, but it has to be very specific. And also, like if you want to achieve your PhD and you say you are going to feel accomplished, if you were in my workshop, I would be asking you, what does accomplished feel like? Because I think accomplished is a big word. So how can you express accomplished? So I think the next question that I'm going to ask is, how are you going to express accomplishment, really? So you are going to find that you may not be able to unless you break it down. So you want to have a picture of someone in a gown, in a PhD, or someone graduating. So that could give you that image as well. But you want to really narrow down to, how are you going to feel once you have that PhD? Are you going to feel happy? Are you going to feel joyful? Because then you can express joy and happiness. But I'm not sure how you are going to express accomplishment. So you want to break that down into very, very specific specific feelings, And then there is an anonymous attendee there. He said, you mentioned having a picture of your daughter. Can I post pictures of people I want to aspire to be like? For example, like now an author of talk show. Yes, that is definitely what you want to do. You want to put up a picture of someone that you look up to or someone that you aspire to be. If you want to have a lodge that looks like maybe let's say town lodge or town city, or what are the big international hotels, or Marriott? You put a picture of Marriott Hotel. If you want a renowned author, you would put a photo of that author or a host of that talk show. So yes, you can actually do that. It works miracles. That's why I'm saying that Masoko put a picture of a lady, wearing a gym wear and having her stomach out. It was a flat up out. So she had that. And last week when she looked at it, she was like, oh, actually my abs are flat and I can now really expose them. I can go to the gym wearing this bra, gym bra, because I've got nothing to hide, because my abs are flat. So you can actually do that. So I'm gonna just open so that if there is anyone, you can raise your hand if you want to say something, or if you want to ask a question. You can type there, or you can raise your hand or type in the chat box and I'll unmute so that you can actually say something. Okay, if there is no one, if you don't have a question right now, or you don't want to chat, I will continue with the session. So maybe you are saying, okay, fine, Hannah, I heard how to make a vision board and why it's important, what can you do? So what is next now? So the next thing is to implement, is to go and do a vision board, is to take what you have learned here and apply it in your life and do your vision board, the way that you want it. And you can take everything, get magazines for yourself, or go online, Google for the images that you want, and do your own vision board at home. So that's something that you can actually do, because unless you take what you have learned and implement it, you have not learned anything. I love Maxwell Maltz's quote that says that the self-image is changed not by intellect or knowledge alone, but by experiencing. It's not the child that is taught about love, but the child that is experienced love that grows into a healthy, happy, well-adjusted adult. So just like what Maxwell Maltz said, it doesn't matter how much you have read books, how much you have listened to audios, how much you have watched videos on YouTube. It doesn't matter if you don't take action on those things that you have learned. So, learning only happens after you have taken action. It happens when you have implemented it. So you need to implement that. And you can do the vision board on your own, or you can do it with me and others. Because like I mentioned, I've been hosting workshops for the past 5 years, and every year I host the vision board, and there is one that is coming up in Gaborone on the 8th of February, which is next week, where I'm going to guide people into doing a vision board. And I will explain to you why you need that. One is there is so value in accountability. When you've got someone who is holding you accountable, or who is guiding you, the chances of you completing what you want are very high. I've had clients who come to a vision board workshop and said, you know what, I have long wanted to do a vision board. I brought the magazines and everything, but I couldn't get myself to do it. I didn't know where to start. I just didn't do it. So I decided to pay for a workshop and come and do it. It's because of the value of having a coach or a mentor or an accountability in your partner. Once there is someone who's holding you accountable, who is guiding you, the probability of completing what you want are very, very high, up to 95%. But on your own, when you had an idea, you won't get much done, maybe 10% completion, or just an idea, 25%, deciding when to act, 40%. If you design a plan, 50%, or if you make a commitment to another person, the chance of completing what you want would be 65%. So you might say, no, I can do it on my own now. I know how to do it, but the chances are you may never get to actually do it. So which is why I want to invite you to our upcoming vision board workshop. It's called Create the Lifestyle You Want and Deserve. It's on the 8th of February 2020 in Gaborone. And you may be thinking, okay, I'm not in Gaborone and I can't come to Gaborone. What do I do? Yeah, it's interesting. This year, this is what I said I'm going to do with the vision board. I'm going to record the entire workshop and divide it into different mini videos and share it with people who have registered who cannot attend. And then I'll do a follow-up call, so to really get them to do the vision board, to answer all the questions that they have had. But if you follow that, the workshop that we are going to do, you are able to do a whole vision board for yourself. Because there are other things that I put in when I do a vision board that you can't find maybe when you Google it. The biggest part of doing a vision board, I always say, is clarity. I always say people don't pay me to come and post pictures on a board. They pay me to help them get clear on what they want. That's the first thing. And before you get clear, you need to let go. So I guide people through a process of letting go. That's the first step that we do. We do a letting go exercise where we look at, okay, what has been holding you back? What are things that you are harboring? Where is the clutter? Is it in your home? Is it in your mind? Declutter. so that you create space and room for what wants to be birthed through you. And once we have let go, then we get into clarity, and I help them visualize way beyond they can do on their own. So I guide them through one, a visualization exercise, and then two, a meditation. And these two help them to really tap into their inner being, tap into their soul, to connect with exactly what they love, not what other people are doing. They don't do things because of the ego saying, no, because someone has this new house, I want it, because someone has a degree, I want it. No, I guide you to tap into exactly what you want based on who you are. And that is the power of the vision board, is the clarity that when someone is leading you through a vision board, you can get into that clarity that on your own, you won't be able to actually do it. So that is the power there. So this time around, if you are not in Gaborone, you can't attend, you can go ahead and pay for the vision board workshop. We are going to send you links to the recordings. You'll watch the recording, do the vision board at your own pace, and then jump into a call. I'll set a date for the call so that we can get it done. And we'll create a closed Facebook group for everyone who's doing it out of town so that they can collectively encourage and inspire each other on that closed Facebook group. And I'll go in there and answer the questions that you have and help you get very, very clear there on the closed Facebook group. So there are no more excuses that, okay, I'm in Joburg, I am in Zambia. I know a lot of people are signed in from Zambia and some from South Africa. So don't let distance be a barrier, because that's what technology is for. It's meant to really bridge that gap. And before I go and share with you how much the vision board is, I think I'm seeing some people here who have done the vision board before. So I'll ask Amu to just share a testimonial there, so that you can hear her. So Amu, are you able to talk? I can unmute you so that you share your experience with vision boards. I think we have done 2. Yeah. Okay, no, I think this is okay. This is Amu. This is Amu. Okay, I thought it was the other Amu who has done a vision board workshop, but I can see someone who has done it as well. I think it's who? It's Wami. So Wami, are you able to talk? Earlier on, I have unmuted you, Wami, but you are not able to talk. Hi, Wami. Hello, Wami. Okay, I don't think she's able to talk. So Wami, can you type there on the chat box your experience with our vision board? I know you have done a vision board. You have done 2 as well, I think, in 2017 and in 2018. So you can share the type there on the chat box your experience with vision boards. But anyway, so I'll just continue while she's typing that. So I shared about the upcoming vision board where I'll be guiding people through a vision board. And the vision board is priced at 650 pula, which is $57 US if you want to jump in. But for a limited time only, between now and the 4th of February, you can enroll for the vision board workshop at 400 pula, which is $37 US. So you can save that difference. But this offer is only valid until the 4th of February. So you need to have paid by the 5th of February. And if you are watching this, it means we have your email, so we will send you the further details. But you can email us. It is info@leadershipinstitute.co.bw. So this is not an E, it's a W. So info@leadershipinstitute.co.bw. So you can tap on that. So you can take advantage of this and register for 400 pula or for $37 US. So we will send you an email. If you want to attend, you can type right now in the chat box so that we can follow up with you, or you can respond to the email, the follow-up email that we will send to you so that you can attend. So if you don't get any email from us, make sure you can still contact us. Send an email at info@leadershipinstitute.co.bw. So that is how you can actually reach us. if you want to take advantage of that. So with this, I think we've come to the top of the hour. We are scheduled to have 3. So I will take any learnings. So I'll just unmute so that you all share your learnings. What was your biggest insight after today? And what is your view about vision boards now? Do you think you can do one for yourself? Do you think you need it? So I'll just unmute you to do that. So I've unmuted you. Okay, and there's someone, administrator here. I'll unmute you. Also, I've unmuted you, Lebo. So go ahead and unmute you. I've given you permission to actually talk. Let's start with you. Amogelang Molusiwa. Okay, if Amu is not ready, Lebo, can you unmute yourself? Okay, can you type there in the chat box? If you can't, if you can't speak, type on the chat box. What is your biggest learning for today? Do you feel like you can do a vision board, or if you've done it before? Lebo, you can unmute yourself as well. Okay, Amu is saying her phone, she can't do audio. Okay, Amu, you can type here, type your comment here, I'll read it out. Lebo, I've unmuted you. Okay. I think you are muted again, Lebo. Can you just unmute yourself? Okay, well, I'm just waiting for Amu to type. And Lebo, are you able to unmute yourself? I'm struggling to unmute you.
Hello?
Yes, Lebo.
Hi. Hey, internet is a problem here.
Okay.
You're asking what? Our key learnings?
Yeah, your key learnings, and what is your perspective now? Because in the beginning you said you have never done a vision board workshop before, but you were considering to make one. So what did you learn, and do you think you still want to do a vision board?
Yes, I do. I feel it's very important if I need to progress into the next stage of my career. I think my key learnings was the clarity aspect. Because it won't really work if it's too vague and if you don't really have awareness or clarity on what you really want.
Yeah.
So I think I'll have to go back to the drawing board and just try to figure out what it is that I really, really do want. Sometimes you think you want something, but then it's not really what you really want. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, that is very true, Lebo. I find that people come to my vision board workshops thinking that they want something, and by the time they leave, they realize that what they thought they wanted was not what they want. It was either ego or because of the pressures of life that they say they want something. Like in the example of Doreen, when Doreen came, when I met her the first time, she said she wanted to do a rehabilitation center. And only to find that her son was struggling with drugs, you know, and with substance abuse. So she was thinking a rehab, she will help fix the sun. But that was not what she really wanted. So once she got clarity and she became true to herself, she realized that, no, that's not what I want to do. I love hospitality, so I would rather do something in hospitality. And that's what she focused on. And that's her exit plan, that she's going to quit work in 3 years and focus on doing that because she has to retire.
Yeah.
So really clarity is very, very important, because sometimes we think we want something when really what we actually want. So yeah, definitely clarity. And especially at your age, when we are so conditioned to doing things that sometimes we think that's what we must do. You know, we think or we think it's a should. But once you're operating under should, then you know it's not who you are. You are just listening to the outside world, you know. It doesn't have to come with that command. If it's coming with command or pressure, then that's not who you are, and that's not what you want.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Let me read. I think I can see something there on the chat box. I'll read that. Okay. Amu said, what I got from this vision board party is that resulting with me is being intentional, being clear, and doing affirmation. I realized this year that it's important to speak into existence what I want, and it sets the tone for a good day. I do want to do a vision board. I will pay the early bird price, but I won't be able to attend physically, so we'll follow the links. Okay, thank you, Amu. Yes, Amu, you are most welcome to join, and we will guide you on to the next steps of how you can create your own vision board. Because you know, you can get magazines and everything, but the important part, like I mentioned, is in the clarity. And this is where I come in to really help someone zero into what is it that they want. You know, through the, you know, the letting go exercise is important, the visualization, and you know, the meditation, which is bringing in that imagination part. So yeah, that is that. So we look forward to seeing you there. And then Wami said, words are not enough to express the power of the vision boards. Due to vision board and clarity, I managed to start my own business. My family is more supporting than ever, and I'm having quality relationships. Thank you, coach, for vision board workshops. Yes, Wami is one of my clients who graduated from some of my programs, and she has done 2 vision boards right now. So she really knows the power of the vision board. That's why she's sharing a testimony like that. Okay, otherwise, if there is no other question, no other comment, I will end the call here so that you can go and continue doing the other things, you know, for the day, because that is the weekend where you get to unplug and be with family. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone who has attended. And if you are going to be watching this recording as well, thank you for committing the time to really watch. You are welcome. You are welcome, Lebo. All right. Thank you very much, and have a great weekend. I look forward to seeing those who are ready to do the vision board workshop with me, either on the vision board workshop or on the platform that we are going to use for those who are not able to attend live. Thank you. Bye-bye.